What's up, gatekeepers? Welcome back to another episode of the Mental Training Revolution. So, today I'm going to talk about a little experience I had, and I love to kind of test myself in these little loss of ego experiments. But kind of what happened today is, my mom needed help with weed whacking, and we were already getting help from Connor and Kate. And normally in these instances, this is a situation where I'm at a point in my life where I wouldn't want to do this because I'd rather spend my time probably reading or working or doing something to help other people. But that's because that's what I want, right? And so a big thing I'm trying to focus on personally is loss of ego, because the more I lose my ego, the more I'm actually going to fill myself and help more people and be more selfless in those situations. And the more I lose my ego, the more compassionate I become, and the more I truly care for others. And so what I'm trying to get to is the point where I care about other people, not to make myself feel good because it's still an ego thing, but to the point where it's genuine because you truly care about that person. So I would call that a loss of ego activity. I'm purposely putting myself in situations that I don't want to do just to practice losing that ego, and fighting against the thinking mind that is like, no, I should be spending this time reading. That's kind of the whole point of why I want to do it. But I had this crazy realization while I was doing it. And so I talk a lot about, money and the illusions of things that we chase material-wise. And it's super easy to say that when we have a successful business like CTG and I have a ton of time to philosophize and read and learn. It's so easy to talk about how money isn't as important as we think it is. I totally get that. And I just want to put it out there. I'm never saying nothing is not needed. I'm just saying that a relationship with them needs to change. So we need to, for an example, yes, we do need to have financial freedom, but once we get to that point, more isn't going to make us happy. That's kind of where I'm trying to get at. And so what I realize is that everyone's struggling because they're always trying to find, something they're super passionate about, they love to do. They don't even consider it work, which it is great. It is possible to get to that point, because I'm definitely at that point, I feel like. But it's not about finding that new thing that you really enjoy. It's about changing your relationship with everything you do first. And so what I mean by this is you want to get to a point where you can do any task and still enjoy it. Okay? Because then you're going to be building yourself forever, whatever you want to be passionate about. Because if you still don't change your relationship with what you don't enjoy, okay, that's still going to seep into what you do care about and what you do enjoy. And so what I mean by this is when I did that loss of ego activity, I meticulously picked the weeds for an hour and a half. I really tried to focus on building my awareness, building my patience, building my loss of ego, not listening to that voice in my head. It's like, you could be reading right now. Why did you do this? Stuff like that. But I realized while I was doing it, this is why so many people struggle, is because they're always focused on what they could be doing or what's outside the present moment. And you can enjoy any task that you do, right? And I truly believe that nothing has to go right externally, but someone could still, enjoy themselves or live a happy life, because happiness and well-being comes from within, right? Because everything we experience is through our mind. So we have reality, like I've talked about in a previous episode, and we have the interpretation of reality. Okay, that interpretation is what brings about well-being, sadness, happiness, and that is all made through the mind. Okay, and so it's about changing those thought patterns, those habits, those neural habits, into your relationship with whatever the external is, to a point where it's free from that relationship. So what that means is we're not trying to hold on to things we like, or we're not trying to push away things we don't like. We step off that hamster wheel and we say, whatever life throws at me, I'm going to enjoy. I'm going to change my relationship with it, so I find things that I can take away from it that makes me enjoy it. So for me, when I was doing the task, I was focused on my awareness, being mindful while I did the task. I was focusing on training my patience, training my waiting, right? And so I've been really focused on waiting and patience a lot lately, because whenever we're waiting, that means we're trying to get outside of the present moment experience. And so that's suffering, right? You're wanting what you're not experiencing right now. You want outside of your current experience. And that's why you're suffering. Not the experience itself, it's the wanting to get out of it. And so what I realize is we need to start training to change the relationship with the actions we take. We don't need to find some job that is absolutely unbelievable and every day we wake up jumping out of bed because our life is so amazing with the work we do. It is awesome when you get to that point, but you'll never get to that point if you don't change the relationship with what you don't like to do. So I encourage you, gatekeepers, with your mental training activity today. Well, one, doing loss of ego activities are great for you. So when you feel that ego being like, I want to do something else, but here I could help help someone, that's a great opportunity to start training yourself and building that loss of ego. But what we can take today is changing your relationship with what you don't like to do. So I encourage you this week, every single day, I would start with something a really, really small amount of time, because remember, short, daily, consistent work is going to grow us fastest. Start with a really, really small amount of time, maybe 5 minutes, whatever it is, just a small task that you hate doing, okay? And I want you to find something to take away from this, make some meaning of how you can enjoy this. So an example could be the dishes. I despise the dishes, if I'm being perfectly honest. You can ask my girlfriend. I do not like to do them. But it's a great opportunity for me to change my relationship with what I don't like to do. So I can train my awareness through this. I can train my aversion to not wanting to do something. Okay, and that's what I can take away. That's very valuable to me, right? I'm training my character, my virtues, what matters, and that's making me a better person. And that makes the action something I enjoy. And so, as you can kind of see where I'm going with this, we need to change our relationship with things we don't like to do. We truly can enjoy all, because the reality is the same out there for everybody. It's our interpretation within our mind that causes us to suffer. So when we're wanting outside of what that activity is, or outside the present moment, when we're mowing the lawn and we wish we were playing video games or something else, that's an opportunity to learn how to change your relationship with action to enjoy whatever you are doing. So I encourage you, gatekeepers, find a small task every single day this week. Do something you do not like to do. Watch your brain while you do it, and find something to take away from it. Find something to train your character so you can become the best version of yourself. So just remember, gatekeepers, it's not about finding something you're extremely passionate about and jumping out of bed to go do. It's about changing your relationship with the action you don't want to do, and find how you can train your character to get to that best version of yourself. And as always, gatekeepers, some of the stuff I talk about is super, super complicated. If you have any questions, just email me, coachjack@ctghoops.com, or text me, 608-201-7384, and I will answer any of you listeners out there. We're about to break over 1,000 listeners, which is crazy because we just started the podcast. So I'm super excited for where this is going. Please share, and let's change the happiness of you and everyone you know, and truly just trying to help other people. And this is going to be super excited for this, and let's keep it rolling. Peace.